Free beer and hot wings in the morning. Grand Rapids rocks all day. 97.9 GRD rocks.
97.9 GRD rocks. It's the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show, partly cloudy. Warm and humid, 82 the high. It's about 62 downtown. And Wayne State University, they might get some national news out of this. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'll bet they do.
Certainly getting statewide attention. The announcement that they're going to drop math as a requirement for graduation.
Yeah.
For students where it doesn't directly apply to their major.
I think that's awesome.
I'd say it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. And I say don't stop there. Start cutting everything out. Do what's right. Don't make my wife take astronomy so that she can be a substance abuse counselor.
Like at CMU, when we were there, when you went through orientation, they taught you about the university program. And that was, you're going to have 50 credits or 60 credits from your major. You needed 120 to graduate.
Yeah.
But the university program made up the other 60, and it was various categories, and you had to have one class from each category in order to graduate. And some of the classes that I, in hindsight, loved the most were from the university program class, but they mean nothing in my life. And they would make the argument then, and I'm sure they still do now, that whatever the program is called and whatever university it is, that's what helped you grow into a well-rounded human being.
No, it's what helped me win at trivia contests because I would know a lot about or a little about a lot of things.
Yes.
So it was good for that, but I mean knowing which constellation is Drago really hasn't done much for me otherwise professionally.
I think that is important, but maybe not have it as a requirement. Maybe offer it. And people will take them.
Yeah.
I mean, I never went to college, but I do get interested in different things that I would like to know more about. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm really into it, then I'll take that class.
Like Geology of Latin America 373. That did nothing for me. I didn't even learn anything. It was a terrible professor. My philosophy, morality of the observer class, that one has had a lasting impact on my way of thinking, and I'd love to go back and take more.
Yeah.
But it also didn't help me get a job or anything else, which is inherently what you're going to college for, to become prepared to work.
Well,
the only reason I went to college is to get a better job.
Yeah, what they ought to do is get rid of a bunch of the useless degrees that they know a kid will never, ever be able to get a job from. Because everybody who goes to college, when you see the offerings that they have, you're like, oh my God, why wouldn't I want to major in philosophy of turtles?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, totally.
But, that's not going to help anybody. But, of course, their goal isn't to help you. It's to make
money.
Buttload of money off of you.
Yeah,
which is why, there's been such an incredibly exponential increase in how much it costs. We were just talking about it off the air, the fact that, it's been a little over 20 years since we were in college, and our credit hours, then it was like $90 a credit hour. That was like $400. That is such an insane increase.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
In that amount of time, that I don't know how anybody could possibly justify that. I mean, everybody talks about student loan debt and everything else, and it's like, yeah, that's awful, but let's look at the root cause of that. Why is it so expensive? How is it any different now than it was then? It's the same classes.
It's a total scam.
It is. And it breaks my heart.
It sucks to say that because I loved those 4 years. I'm so glad I got to do it.
Yeah, and I hate the idea of it too. I want my kids to go to college. I want them to have the experience that I did. I mean, you're taking a bunch of classes, you're learning a lot of different things. You also, the social aspect is cool as long as you don't get into way too much booze or drugs. Then it can be great. I have very fond memories of that, and I would love them to be able to go and have that pride of I went to this school or whatever.
Sure,
but Jesus, man, I mean, if the rates continue to go the way that they do, hell. Take an apprenticeship somewhere. Figure out what you want to do, and then just hone in on it.
Yeah. That's for my wife. It's a real bummer because she thought she wanted to do one thing. Well, first she starts going to CMU. I don't know what her original degree was going to be in, but then she starts to think, oh, I think I want to be a nurse. So she goes for 2 years. She goes to nursing school before she thinks, this really isn't for me. So she's paid for that at this point, and then goes back to CMU. And so she doesn't even have that 4 year she doesn't get the memories of a traditional going to a 4-year college and living in dorms and then just off campus and whatever, going to games.
So she just gets the joy of expense.
Yeah, because she tried to actually, do something that she thought she wanted to do. She was trying to prepare for a career. So that's a real bummer. And now, especially now, I don't know how much, I was telling you, I don't know how much she was paying for those classes because her parents picked up that tab, thank God. But it would have been brutal on us if we had to do that.
Oh, you'd be completely saddled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because we're taking care of the master's degree, and that's ungodly how much each class is. It's awful.
Yeah, and so imagine if it was undergrad, you still got to take a math class. Like for us, for our degree, did you have a BAA?
Yeah.
Yeah. You had to take one 3-credit math class. So my freshman year, I did that. I took like the highest advanced math class I could all the way through high school. And then that class I took my freshman year was so redundant.
Oh, yeah.
It was just busy work.
Yeah,
but I had to do it.
Yeah, it was just math 105, I think.
I did math 203 because I didn't want to be in there with the lunkheads.
Yeah, I don't know what I took. I know it wasn't 055 because 055 was like the remedial class for dopes.
Yeah.
It was 1 + 1 is 2,
See, for that, why even waste your time? How about this? You pay for it, but they just give you a quiz so that you can prove you know it. Because if it's really about knowledge, then you already know this math.
Yeah, I could have tested out of that class so easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not because I'm a math genius, but because that
You
stuff
did
was
it.
stuff I had done my sophomore and junior years of high school, and I still knew I couldn't do it now. I couldn't math.
But
I
at
couldn't
that
test out
time,
of that class
sure.
now.
No. But even so, at that point, it's like, can't you just look at my ACTs
Yeah.
or my transcripts or anything? I mean, I made it through pre-calculus and didn't fail. I mean, obviously I can do basic math. Well done. We can't charge you for that, though, if you don't take it. Of
course not.
That would be stupid.
That is the thing. Maybe it needs to be reworked.
By the way, did you see there was a big sewage leak into Lake Michigan and Traverse City?
No.
Oh, is that where it was? Traverse City?
I just read that. It says, because the headline from MLive was how a popular Lake Michigan beach looks after 3,000-gallon sewage leak.
Oh,
I'm sure
no.
it looks great, right?
The Clinch Park Beach. It happened sometime Saturday, so on Sunday it was an empty wasteland.
I'm sure that'll be easy to clean up and it won't spread at all.
That's that main one right by the zoo.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a really popular beach, and you can't really. It doesn't really look like much in just the photos. It just looks like water and a beach, but it's empty.
But my mind connects the dots, and it's like, oh, that water looks brown. It's filled with sewage.
It's empty, except there's one guy in this photo. He's out on some sort of a raft or something.
That was the beach my wife and I were on when we did a market visit up there. We did the morning show, and we didn't really have anything scheduled till like the cherry pit spitting contest later in the day. So my wife and I went out to that beach, but it was still only like 11 o'clock in the morning because we stayed at the hotel nearby. So we walked over. It was pretty empty, and so we just laid out on the beach, and we were going to take a nap or just kind of enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'm falling asleep. I've got a hat over my face so that I don't wake up with, 3rd-degree sunburn or something.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this douchebag with a metal detector walking up and down the beach.
Oh, yeah.
And I hear, beep, beep. And I'm like, okay, well, somebody's playing catch their kid. I don't know.
Yeah.
Beep, beep.
He's scanning your balls.
Take the hat off. No, he's saying beep, beep. He wants to scan where we're laying.
What?
He's going back and forth along the beach, and he thinks we're going to move.
Oh, so you're in the middle of his grid.
I don't effing think so.
Oh.
And so, what? And he goes,
oh, you should have given him a Draymond Green tap.
can I scan here? No. I'm scanning the whole beach.
I don't care.
Well,
Keep
good
going.
for you. I got a good idea. Put a couple of stakes in the sand around here and then come back later when we're not in it.
Boy, sometimes you guys tell stories where I really physically get angry at that person in this story that happened years ago.
Yeah.
Everybody else was moving for him, by the way.
Well, I guess it would catch you so off guard.
I think that's what
you
it
just
was.
go, all right, I guess.
Yeah. Most times I probably would have as well.
And if I'm just sitting up, but if I'm laying down, I'm maxing and relaxing.
Breaking Lions news.
They
Get ready to say goodbye. No, not some. Say goodbye, Calvin Johnson. You don't need him anymore now that you have Andre Roberts in the fold.
I thought you were going to say Andre Rison.
Andre Roberts. It might as well be Andre the Giant. 21 catches in 9 games last season for the Washington professional football team.
Oh, really?
Wow. That's a team.
They also have Anquan Bolden in town today, which if this was 2008, I would be damned excited.
Oh, I thought he played basketball.
No, that's a different Anquan.
So are you? Was that it? Is that all you needed to see to just shake
like
your hands
like
of
to go buy
excitement?
A brand new jersey?
No.
No, you're
Get
still
all
getting
ready?
excited?
Well, no, that has no impact on whether or not I'll be excited.
Okay. So you're
What made me excited was their 6-2 finish last year at the end of the year. Matthew Stafford's pinpoint accuracy, over 70% completions, 19 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, best stretch of his career. That is the beginning of the next step to superstar status.
I'm certain of that.
All right.
I mean, Jesus, that season, the season following the season where he threw for 4,200 yards or whatever. That was a good one. They won all those playoff games.
Yeah. So this is about to happen. Man. Sure. The level of competition that they played during that 8-game stretch wasn't as good as the first 8, but you got to play who's on the schedule, guys.
Yeah, I mean, they don't make it up, from what I hear.
Mm-hmm. Everybody plays the same amount of games.
Right. If they had won a few more games, they'd have been in the playoffs. And then if they had been in the playoffs, anybody could win the Super Bowl that's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they What I'm saying is they damn near won the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, if they had just won all their games, they would have.
Suckers. You're all suckers.
Nirvana, all apologies. 97.9 GRD Rocks.